Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second game of the day here at Stellenberg High School, where we're going to have Georgia take on Ireland. We just witnessed a great game between the SAA side taking on the French side. What a game it was for the last and final day of the Under-18 International Series down here in South Africa. As you see, the school kids of Stellenberg, they're having quite the season. The Jade Parade. We can only be so thankful for letting us host this beautiful occasion and this beautiful game between Ireland and Georgia. The Georgians have had quite the difficult tournament, should I call that, but the Irish have done well, just losing that first game against the SAA side. Very, very close game, but I think today they really want to walk away with the win of their final day.
Yeah, they go really well-matched setup here between Georgia and Ireland. Both sides, as you mentioned, Junior, struggling a little bit in the earlier rounds. Just how strong are the South African under-18s, as we have a look at the Irish boys being led out by Luke Coffey, the scrum half, and they're looking to bounce back. What was a disappointing loss, I think, by their standards against the South African under-18 side, 51 points to 15 in the previous round.
The Georgians looking ever so ready to take on the Irish. A big pack of Georgians, I must say. Really seem to have their work cut out for them this afternoon. And here come the Georgians.
Always the case with the Georgian under-18s. They look as if they're playing under-80 rugby, and such a strong pack almost always being brought by the Georgian side. And interesting conversation with regards to under-18 rugby and just schoolboy rugby in general, Junior, where some of these sides really bring massive packs, and obviously other teams, you know, maturing a little bit later on, and Georgia definitely one of the teams that brings a fully grown front row, to say the least.
Most definitely. If there's one person we need to just really keep our eyes on, it's Rian McFarlane, and of course Scanlon there for the Irish side, being led out by Luke Coffey this afternoon. David Nolan back at 10 just to take control and be the music man for this outfit. Of course, they've got a strong bench in there with Finn Brennan. This time he's on the bench. He was starting in the last game. Those guys are going to look to come in and make quite the difference in their second half when eventually they do come on. I predict a big game from the forwards, though, from the Irish. If you just watch the first and the second game, they're very big with their forwards, really know how to get around the corner. So it's going to be very big of them now to come through and try and get over this strong and big, powerful pack from the Georgians.
Yeah, Junior, I think a comment you made on those teams is the packs get around so well. Big part of the game today, the game plan from the Irish young men.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're willing and able, please rise to your feet for the singing of the Georgia National Anthem, followed by the Ireland National Anthem.
beautiful rendition of the two anthems from Georgia and the Irish. And of course, this game between the Ireland and Georgia is going to be a very big game for these young men. It's more than just rugby, of course. It's a time now to showcase their talent and showcase that they are the future of their country. So wherever you're watching from, settle in and get ready to what promises to be a fantastic contest. And of course, the Georgians with a strong lineup being led by David, number 13, one that you really need to watch out for. And of course, the center partner, Mikael, another one that he really knows how to jam well. If those guys get their things together and really connect, it's going to be problematic for this Irish side.
Yeah, I think it's really important that that Georgian team gets the best front football, and this Irish side, such a strong outfit, Junior.
A very strong side, and of course David Nolan, who really knows how to control the game. He's done so in the past two games. Now in this final game, he's swan song. Will he be able to do this the same? He's got a nice pack of forwards who are going to work properly with him. And Caleb Tutti, someone who's really stood out in this under 18 series, he's going to look to finish strong as well. And we've got our match official Luvuyo Mateba. He's going to take control of the refereeing duties this afternoon, and of course being accompanied by two of his ARs.
Such a big game, particularly in the Georgian context, Junior. So many of these young men looking to put their hands up for higher honours overseas, looking to make a name for themselves. So many Georgians getting scouted into French club rugby nowadays, and obviously an opportunity to really grow yourself as a rugby player on this and that stage.
And there we have it, a kickoff by Nolan to get us underway, collected beautifully by the Georgians. Big tank of a man, but the Irish are showing that they too are fierce in contact. Bit of a stumble there, but ball still in position of the Georgians, just breaking through. Takes about 2 men to bring Luca down. Needs to dig deep now, Georgie. Just finding and creating that caterpillar for that box kick exit. Boots it up, makes it contestable. And it's collected beautifully by Luke Kelly. Eventually a penalty being given by the official.
Just a little bit of an accidental offside there. Ball comes down right in front of you. You know, as a rugby player, first thoughts to grab the pull, and Rian McFarlane O'Shea, unfortunately, just not able to hold himself off. So the Georgians with an early territorial gain. Another look at that box kick. See, not a bad take at all from Luke Kelly. Maybe just didn't get himself into the right position and opening the door for a little offside that crept in.
Throw in for the Georgians, a beautiful one right off the back and showing some tenacity quite early in the game of the Georgians. Big strong carry once again coming in for Mate, showing a lot of horsepower, taking those forwards, coming around the corner again once again from the Georgians. Big strong carry once again, taking it up. Big hit is made beautifully by Cillian. Killian McElwee is someone who's really performed well in this under 18 series. And he too is someone who's going to look to finish strong. Georgia just taking their time to set this up. Eventually finds its forwards, trying to bust through here, but there's a big green wall that's been put by the Irish. Doing everything they can. The Georgians just creeping up meter by meter, getting real close to the try line. Georgie got his work set out for him. Oh, it's a beautiful break by the Georgians. Inches away now from the try line. Can almost smell it now. Pick up and go from the Georgians. Attacking that right side, but the Irish are holding strong in defense. Once again, forwards have got their work cut out for them. Pick up and drive. Needs to be careful of double movement. Short, says the official. Inches away now from Glory. Pick and go. Once again, choosing that same side. Commendable defense coming in from the Irish. And it seems as though he's eventually got over, and a try has been awarded to the Georgians, and they are going to draw first blood in this game.
Yeah, it was a beautiful bit of continuity from the Georgians, coming around the corner again and again and again, and eventually Saba Gurgodze, he is the one who's going to get the 5 points, open the scores for the Georgians. And a junior, just really, really good body position from the Georgians, a couple of meters out, all through the attacking drive in the 22. They held really good body position and just far too much power that close to the line. Just darting that down, referee Maqeba happy to award it. And this is exactly what Georgia would have wanted. Struggled a little bit to
20 seconds.
Get themselves on the scoreboard in the previous game against the SA under 18As, and this is really going to put a smile on the faces of the coaching staff.
And that try is converted.
Thank you.
The try scorer was number 4, Saba.
A beautiful strike from the fullback to add the extra 2 points. And he's going to be proud of that start. That is Luka Chakua. Nolan with the restart once again, sends it to the same side, collected beautifully by the lock. Nicolozi's also had a great under-18 series so far down here in the Cape. Once again, Georgians trusting in the work of their forwards.
Let's use a
They're ready to fix for the exit now.
Stay on side.
And this time, George, you can only hope he gets it right. Beautiful. Eventually collected by Kelly, who puts it back. Chip and chase from the Irish winger. He's got someone at home. Steps one, steps the other. Beautiful running from the Georgians, really backing themselves. Big strong forwards carrying it up, and that looks like Iago, who's done well. Ball might have been lost. Turnover from the Irish. They've done well in defense so far, the Irish. Digging deep now is Luke Coffey, the captain. Finds his back line. They want to send it out straight to the winger and not quite earning the right to go out wide. And eventually they have knocked that ball on, so a scrum down now for the Georgians. I don't know about you, Daniel, but I'm not such a fan of getting that ball out wide so early on the onset, and rather just work your way and earn the right to go out wide.
Yeah, I think it's a classic situation, gone wide maybe 2 phases too soon, and Irish just need to be patient, is what the Georgians did so well when they found themselves in the red zone a couple of minutes ago and ultimately came away with a try. Was they were patient, they didn't try and attack too quickly, they took their opportunities as they came, and really important that the Irish get that right. So Junior, it looks as if the Georgians, there's a real look of intent amongst the players. I mean, every time you rock up at a rugby game, you're going to put your best foot forward, you're going to try to win the game, but there's a special sort of intent with the Georgians, the way that they're defending, the way that they're getting the ball through their hands. It's really, really nice, and I think the Irish are not necessarily shell-shocked, but they're definitely realizing that they haven't come for a walk in the park.
Most definitely. This is the first scrum of the morning. Well, the afternoon down here at Stellenberg. Great scrum from the Georgians. Does well to find Mikhail, who crashes through. Takes about 2 with him. Pick up and go once again. Some good alertness from the Georgians. 3v2 at the moment. It's a foot race. Cuts back inside the Georgian center. Mikhail really backing himself now. They've got numbers on the outside. Long pass here, not selfish at all from the Georgians. Straight into the hands of Redzi, who's going to cut back inside. Great defense from the opposite number, Kelly.
No advantage.
Exciting times in the attack of Georgia.
Yeah, really, the intent we were speaking about a moment ago, the Georgians looking at every moment to get themselves on the front foot, and a really good appreciation of the laws a little bit earlier, opened up the space, and then just free-flowing, really nice, looking to get the ball wide at the right time, something that maybe Isla didn't quite do, and I really like this option from the Georgians. You got your tail up. Yes, you know, the points are always on offer, and this is an under-18 test match, as it were. And have another look at the initial just appreciation of the laws, looking to get the ball wide. You can see the general Mate Makaradze just absolutely pulling the strings as he needs to, and then looking to get it into the danger man on the outside.
They've done well to find George at the back. Taken up by Mikhail, he's got to stretch. Quick ball coming from the Georgians, coming around the corner. Very dangerous from the Georgians. Looks a bit short at the moment. Held up, here's the call from the official. How about that, Dan?
Yeah, I think it's always one of those things. The referee is right there. He knows exactly what's happening, and happy to have that hold up the Irish. I think they're going to feel like they got away with one there. 1 or 2 phases recycled, and no doubt the Georgians would have got their players into the right places to get that one over the line. And again, just speaking about that intent, at every single opportunity. I mean, a little overthrow, often, you know, a little bit of a downer when you're on the attack, but Mikhail Mgalobishvili, so quick to get onto it, and now Georgia with another opportunity.
Big strong carry coming in from the flanker. Out wide the Georgians go, not afraid to play that ball. Luca takes it up, but he's been taken by Ryan McCormick. Georgians keeping that ball alive best as they can. Georgia once again finds his forwards. A lot of taking now from the forwards, working overtime in this 8 minutes that's been played. Georgia getting those hands free once again. David has done well, but just couldn't hold on to the ball, unfortunately. And a turnover for the Irish. How important is it now, Dan, for you to get into this half, close to the 22, and keep possession of the ball? Make sure you don't lose it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that it's just, you know, you got your tails up, you want to be putting points on the board, and maybe just a little bit over-eager. And little knock of the ball there from David Akflediani, but just showing how they want to play the game, Georgia. They're controlling the tempo really well, and that's what's so important, is they're controlling things. As much as the Irish are at times getting something right, and you know, Georgians can't convert, the Georgians are fully in control of every facet of the game thus far, and it's going to be a big job for the Irish and their captain Luke Coffey to turn these things around.
Crouch. Fine. Set.
Feed in by the captain. Kelly, first receiver of that ball, just got hold on. Another knock now for the Irish by Nolan.
Okay. Double knock.
And that's the second knock on for the Irish in just under 10 minutes. Bit of a coach killer, that is.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the thing is, when you're on the back foot, you're in your own half, you've got to get the ball out. You've got to get the ball out of your own half. And, you know, if that means dropping it onto the boot, maybe a strike phase of 12 and then a box kick, whatever is going to get you out of the red zone. And I think the Irish need to be looking to do that, playing rugby in the right areas, playing rugby at their pace and their tempo, and the good things will come from that.
Fine. Set.
Done well in the scrum. The Georgians getting that ball, playing out the back. Straight to the winger they go, taking no chances, taking no prisoners as well. Big hit from Mate, the 8th man. He's got the number 26 on his back. Here come the Georgians once again, just couldn't hold on. Big strong bullet of a pass to Alexandra, but
Under pressure.
unnecessary for the Georgians. And now another knock once again.
Not a bad option, I don't think, looking to straighten up from Alexander Gamkrelidze, but it is humid. It is very humid. It's not necessarily rainy in the Cape, but a little bit of sweat on the ball. Conditions may be akin to what we had seen in Durban, and so or rather handling conditions not necessarily the best, and this is where it's important for these young men to show a little bit of maturity, play the type of rugby that the conditions are suited to, and no doubt find some reward doing that.
Set.
Then that's a bit of a killer.
No doubt, just too early on it from the Irish.
Talk about a strong carry coming in from David. He's done well to get past the first defender. Ball being presented now beautifully for the Georgians. Not the best of passes, but here they go. Very important in the attack of the Georgians is Mikhail. Does well to get that go-forward ball. Another big, strong fight for the Georgians on the ground, but seems though the ball might have been stolen. No, back into the hands of the Georgians. Saber, one of the try scorers, just taking it up himself. Strong carrier he is. Takes about 2-3 men to take him down. Luca desperately trying to find space. Georgians seem to be a bit out of options at the moment. Just can't hold on to the ball, unfortunately, being overturned now by the Irish.
And you mentioned it, Junior, just out of options, the Georgians, and playing quite simple rugby, trying to utilize those big forwards, coming off 10, Mate Makaradze, running hard lines, cutting angles, and it's very, very difficult for defense to handle that. But in the same breath, if you're physical and you stand up to the onslaught, you can almost restrict their ability to do what they want to do and to bully you a little bit. And the face pass coming in there to Georgie Sutiashvili, not a bad option at all, trying to just change things up a little bit and just not quite able to hold on to it. The space was there, the right vision, just not quite the right execution.
Thank you.
Bit of medical attention being given there to the tight head Iago. Hopefully nothing too serious, and we'll see him back on the park, as we do want to see all of them play this final game here of the Under-18 International Series. What a series it's been so far, Dan.
Yeah, it's been great, and it's been so awesome, I think, to see our talent, homegrown talent, South African talent, compared with what's being produced overseas. And for the boys who are overseas to come to South Africa and say, you know, listen, this is the best schoolboy producing rugby nation in the world. How do we compare? How can we compete? And what can we do to be better? And, you know, come the Under-20 World Championship or Rugby Championship, Six Nations in years to come, all of a sudden the rest of the countries have, dare I say, caught up. And it's I think, an important step in that process, realizing where you are, knowing how you compare to the best, and putting processes in place to, in a couple of years' time, be competitive and go on to win those tournaments.
Most definitely great to hear that we seem to be the blueprint for all the other nations
Fine.
as the best schoolboy producing nation in the world. Another short arm now for the Irish. Very unfortunate for Georgia to concede a penalty right where they are, but then a breath of fresh air for the Irish. Doesn't seem as though that ball's going to go out. Not at all. Taken up by the Irish. Here comes Luca. Cuts back inside, the cheeky fullback. Georgia once again needs to find his flower half. Does well to find Mate, who's going to boot it down to the left-hand side. Oh, the bounce of the ball. The bounce of the ball not in his favor.
Always inside.
Nolan takes it up. Steps around Nolan. Beats one defender. Here comes Nolan. It's a foot race. He's got support on the left-hand side. Eventually brought down. Bit of a tussle at the breakdown. Penalty to the Georgians. A well-earned penalty there, Dan.
Yeah, no doubt about it. David Nolan showing us a little bit of sparks from this Irish side, showing the way that they want to be playing rugby, a little bit of individual brilliance, but phenomenal work at the breakdown. I think a real calling card of Georgian rugby is how strong their scrum is. We've seen that in this game, and how good they are at the breakdown. And these young Georgians showing that it's the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Getting just reward as a result. See, beautiful body position over the ball. Their initial tackle made, and Irish just no support. Always the case, unfortunately, when you got a man on a line break on his own, and the Georgians wise to it.
Mikhail just couldn't hold on to the ball, but being collected by Luca Schleier. Iago at scrum half position. Does well to spin out of the tackle. The Georgians very confrontational is the front row, stepping out, wiggling his way through. Eventually brought down. Just love the attack from the Georgians, especially the tight five. They really know how to come around the corner constantly with that wave, and are really confrontational when it comes to contact.
Yeah, the Georgian tight five doing an absolute masterclass and putting the Irish on the back foot. And so important that they convert this pressure that they're putting the Irish under into points. We saw something similar with the SA Under-18A game. Junior, have another look at that dancing feet from Georgie Konolets. So good to see the Georgian coming around the corner. And the referee asking the Georgian players if they understand English. But as I was saying, Junior, I think, you know, we saw this with the Georgian side against the SA Under-18A. They came out really strong. They played good physical rugby, and ultimately struggling to keep the pace in the second half. And so I would love to see the Georgians put a little bit more points from their pressure onto the board, and hopefully that'll serve them well as the game ebbs and flows later on.
Yet another scrum now for Georgie Konolets and his men.
Crouch.
And it's time now for the Georgians to start attacking with intent.
Set.
In a very good position right outside the 22. And here come the Georgians once again. Finds Mate. Oh, beautiful pass, just can't hold on. Couldn't hold on to the ball, being intercepted by Alex Maloney. Alex Maloney still going. Eventually brought down by the Georgians, but ball still alive for the Irish. Cutting back inside is the winger. Captain does well to find Nolan. Big strong carry from the big number 8. We've seen him plenty of times, Scanlon. Know what he's capable of. Nolan does well to find Maloney. Boots it down a bit too much for Maloney. A bit too much indeed.
Yeah, not a bad option from the danger man, Alex Maloney, the one who initially made the initial run rather, and maybe a little bit sad to have seen him kick that away. The Irish were looking really, really good. Getting a little bit of continuity, a little bit of momentum for the first time that we've seen this game, and looking really, really dangerous. And so it would have been nice to see them go through the phases a little bit more. But nevertheless, Georgians under big pressure, and the first time that we've really seen them under pressure in this game. So important to see how they respond.
Very glad that you mentioned that, because in 18 minutes, it is the first time that they've been under pressure. First time that they've had to defend anywhere from the 22 to the 5. So that really just speaks volumes as to how the attack of the Irish has been so far.
We're referring by making a comment on the Georgian setup time at the line-out, and not a bad tactic from the Georgians, slowing things down a little bit and giving themselves an opportunity to breathe before the pressure is absorbed, and that is a very good line-out from the Georgians.
Using those forwards once again to come through, and it seems as though that's Iago who set it up for the Georgians. Stern warning from the official to not collapse. Boots it up, does well is Konelitsk, and has set off the pressure from the Georgians.
And that's a textbook exit for the Georgians. One phase off the line out, good bit of crash, set up the box kick, and you relieve a little bit of the pressure. We wanted to know how they would respond, and they've responded phenomenally well. And we see a change coming in. Iago Gudashauri, he was receiving a little bit of attention not so long ago, and so he's going to move more, make way for Georgi Berzanishvili, the number 18 jersey. Fortunate to see the young man go off so soon, but good test of the prop stocks in this Georgian under 18 side.
Here come the Irish once again. Kelly does well to draw 2 defenders with him, eventually brought down. Quick ball coming in from Maloney. I think that might have been intentional.
13.
And all the more pressure coming to the Georgians. David Akflediani, he's going to get a yellow card, and the Irish are playing quickly. David Nolan running right down the side like a thief in the night. They've stolen those 5 points of the Irish. Wise to the Georgian defense, going slightly to sleep, and all of a sudden we have ourselves a ball game, Junior.
Very good from the Irish to stay alert and get that ball going quite quickly. And that's just the game, Dan. You don't wait for anyone. If you want to put points on the board, you best believe you're going to go while they try and gather themselves. And he's done well to get over there. Ball's been going his side, the young Reese, but eventually he's been awarded for all his efforts in this first half. Yeah,
Reese Kerr, we haven't seen a lot of him, and doing what good wingers do best. When the ball's not coming your way, you make something happen, and coming away with a try as the extras are missed. And Junior, this is going to be a very, very interesting period of play here now. The Georgians, a man down, just 2 points in it, and it felt like for the first 15 minutes of this game, it was all things Georgia, and a little bit more even and a little bit more Steven as we edge into the second part of this first half.
Seems a bit disappointed with himself. Just 10 minutes in the naughty corner and you'll be back, young man.
There was time, yes. If there's window of opportunity and there's no delays, he can take it quick. Yep.
Mikhail just being the voice for the team. And now they trust in the beautiful boot of Mate Makaradze to get them restarted. Does well, puts it nice and high, and it's going to be a reply back from the Irish.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad option at all from the captain, Luke Coffey, using his left boot well. And when your tails are up, often the thought is to very quickly try to take advantage of it and play quickly and score, and get a little bit frenetic, and you can lose your structure. And so the Irish doing very well to do so, and Georgians with a good feed.
Georgians have done well in their set piece so far. Big fight for it on the ground from the Irish, but ball still in position of the Georgians. Once again, the new man on the park does well to carry, still pumping those legs. Big support now from his teammates. Giorgio digging deep, finds Mate. Luca tries to spin around here, but an arm is going to go up. An arm is going to go up from the official. Very unfortunate.
High tackle.
Now that tackle riding a little bit high. We never like to see it at any level of the game, and in particular with the younger men, as we see fullback Luka Chakua seems to be getting up. Seems to be okay, but it's going to be a penalty and not what the Irish would have wanted. Another look at it, coming wide. Good little goosey from the young man, and as he stepped in, Frank Maher tackle riding a little bit high, and I think lucky maybe just to get away with the penalty there, Junior.
Let's go.
Difference in height there. I think it's a bit unfortunate. If you're as tall as Frank and a short man like Luke is going to come and dance around you, and you've got that arm out, I don't think anything else was going to happen there but that high tackle.
Yeah. Not at all. Nothing else could have come of it. And interesting to see how the Georgians are going to manage this entry into the 22. They're a man down. They want to kind of wind down the clock. They want to slow things down, but in the same breath, they want to come away with points. And so lots of options for the Georgians, and I think a maul, not a bad one at all.
Georgians try to do well, but great defense from the Irish. It's been stolen right out of his hand, Dan. You don't see those every day, stolen like a thief at night, and the Georgians are back on the scoreboard.
Opportunistic and a beautiful awareness of the game, understanding of where the ball's going to go, and bouncing back. The Georgians almost straight away, and as we get a number on that, look at the line out. Really good steal from Philip McElvey, really good effort from the Irish, and I thought, the Georgians have just lost that opportunity, and it's going to be the hooker, Alexander Gamkrelidze, who's going to crash over. Beautiful game awareness, well worth the points. And all of a sudden the Georgians, all that pressure finally coming good and pulling ahead with their second score. Good strike from Luka Chakua. Going to drift just wide. It's going to say 12 points to 5, folks, and that's exactly what the Georgians would have wanted. You're a man down, a little bit on the back foot, and all of a sudden, just like that, Junior, there's almost a freebie, as it were.
And here come the Irish once again with another restart. Georgians not going to waste any more time. Reply back by Luka with the kick of his own. Infield is the kick. The Irish once again taking it out on that left-hand side, just backing himself, Nolan. Love this about the fly half. Not afraid to take on the foot race. Ball's been lost though by the Irish. Back into the hands of the Georgians. Pick up and go. Strong pick up and go coming in from the Georgians. Big carry from Georgi Kenashvili. Trusting those forwards to try and get through. New man on the park. Another Georgie. I think I've counted about 6-7 Georgies in the Georgian side. Boots it up. Does well. Collected beautifully by the Irish. Looks like the fullback, Daniel Murphy, who's done well, but a bit too much on the boot. And they are going to go back to where he had kicked that. So unfortunate. But once again, Dan, you can't control the bounce of the ball.
No, not at all. Not a bad option there from Dan Murphy, I don't think. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of space behind after the kick comes through. And you just see the Irish, this is not what you want, Junior. You don't want that desperation. You don't want them doing things compulsively. You want them to play their structure, play their game, take control of the tempo of things, especially with the man up. And you can see, I think there was initially an intent to do that, but now having just conceded that try, a little bit of halter and a little bit of sculptor, and I think it's really important for Captain Luke Coffey to get his troops together, say, boys, we've got to play the game at our pace. We've got to do what we want to do. We're going to let ourselves build our phases, and the good is going to come of it.
the end of the day, that's definitely what you want, for the guys to control the game at their own pace.
Set.
And it seems as though it's the Georgians who've been doing well with that. Feed in by the Georgians. Big scrum once again. Finds Mate. Does well to find his center partner. Pumping those legs. In fact, it's the winger. It's first time seeing him with a beautiful run, Alexandre. Ball's been booted. Nobody home for the Georgians. A big chase now for Mate Makaradze. He's got about 2 Irishmen in front of him, but does well under pressure. Boots it back into the opposite number, Murphy. Murphy does well, finds Nolan. Nolan not afraid to back himself. Nolan goes on the outside, 3v1, does well to find his winger, the try scorer, still moving around. Ladies and gentlemen, what a try by Reese Keogh.
An absolute masterclass in counter-attacking rugby from this Irish under-18 side. Beautiful ball movement through the hands. Murphy, Nolan, and then the danger man on the left wing, Reese Keogh, gets a second of the day. And it shows exactly what happens. One small mistake coming in from Luka Chakua, not finding touch. Look, Nolan, the archetypal running fly half, reminds you of Richie Oanga, happy to back himself, happy to create the opportunities himself instead of just directing those around him. And Keogh finishes so well in the corner, second of the day. And this is really turning into a punch-for-punch game between the Irish and Georgians.
Bit of a difficult kick for the captain, but strikes it beautifully. Bounces off the post straight inside. And the extra 2 points to make it 12-all between Ireland and Georgia.
Yeah, really good kick coming in from the scrum half and captain Luke Coffey, and off of his less preferred side. I think the soft skills of these young men nowadays are so good that they don't really have a preferred side, but it's so important to draw their boys square. Beautiful presence of mind from Keogh to stay on the outside, back his pace, and finish in the corner. That try ultimately, I do think, made by the fly half, David Nolan. He's had a really good game so far when he's had his hands on the ball. And I'm going to want to get into his hands more and more as the game goes on.
Mate Makaradze with the deep send-off, collected by the Irishman. Done well to carry it. Captain just taking his time now, changing the speed of the game. And now the box kick is what the Georgians need to prepare for. In fact, finds Nolan, playing it out from the back now from the Irish. Very sneaky. They're going to find Murphy's going to boot it. Big boot by the fullback. Makaradze is just going to let it bounce. Well, 3 Irishmen on attack, right in front of him, and under pressure, he does well.
That's a phenomenal kick from Mate Makaradze, getting as much distance as he can and just giving a little bit of a breather for his troops. We've got to remember, Junior, that the Georgians are still a man down, and particularly a man down in the back line, which makes it very, very difficult when you're looking to play running rugby, looking to go wide, and there's just always going to be one less pair of hands willing to receive the pull. And so, good option, slowing the game down. And I think both sides are coming to the party when it comes to game management. The Georgians, they've been good from the word go, and the Irish really stepped up the last couple of minutes and couldn't ask for a fairer game of rugby thus far.
Some good variations, just can't find the jumper though. Problematic for the Irish. Good problems for the Georgians. Taken up, does well, Luka Shulaya. Once again, the Georgians doing well. New man on the field, Bartolome in the number 24 jumper. Playing it out the back of the Georgians, not afraid of the soft hands. Unselfish from the Georgians. Try scorer still moving. He's got an off-road going. Georgia showing us how it's done. Straight into the hands of the replacement prop, Georgie
Birdzinishvili. That is absolutely phenomenal rugby from the replacement tight end. Deft touches like an outside centre. I was saying a moment ago how wrong I was that there'd always be one less pair of hands, because there in the centre's channel, Georgie Birdzinishvili getting the try. Beautiful game awareness to give the soft touch to Alexander Gamrelidze. Initially, you can see out the back. This is all forwards and backs. Beautiful bit of interplay. Soft touch, and then the awareness to follow up. Almost a scrum half's line from that close. Absolutely no chance for Luke Kelly stopping the big man. It's a beautiful, beautiful try from the Georgians.
Very good team effort try from the Georgians. How about that? How about that break from Alexandra Kamrelitsi? Not selfish, turns around and gets that offload going to keep that ball alive. And the extra 2 points in attempt by the Georgians. Strikes it through beautifully.
Yeah, Luka Chakua, he's been good off the boot today and adding those important 2 extras. You can feel this game opening up, and this is what we want from this under-18 international series. Good flowing running rugby. And you said the big boys, they can't move the ball around. It could have been a centre and a wing, but it's the hooker and a tight head prop.
Another kickoff by the Irish, but fumbled from the Georgians after a good try. Not the best of restarts for the Georgians. Irish on attack now. McFarlane O'Shea. Digging deep now is the skipper. Does well to find Nolan. Maloney tries to break through, does well. Maloney once again backing himself, just using his body to get through the defenders, and eventually ball has been knocked.
Beautiful carry coming in from Alex Maloney, showing his strength the outside centre, bumping off 1 or 2 and then trying to get that pass away. Nothing malicious, says referee McLeber, and happy to just call that as a knock-on, and ultimately doing well to get into the eye-line, the passing line of the Irish. Did the Georgians there. I'm not quite sure who man was that got it right, but getting in and amongst this Irish attack, and as good as it may look, ultimately no purchase thus far.
Crouch.
Good defence from the Georgians.
Bind. Set.
Luke Coffey once again with the feed in. Strong scrum from the Irish, once again picked up by the captain. Does well to find Nolan. Murphy, long pass into Kelly. He's got the outside, backs himself. Kelly, 2 defenders to beat. Right in front of the line they are. They can almost smell it. Big strong carry from O'Shea. Stopped in his tracks. Georgians desperate in defense. Bit of a tussle there right in front of the try line for the Georgians. Another carry coming in from Frak Maher.
No.
Once again, Georgians being very confrontational in defense. Pick up and go from the Irish. Desperate in attack. Slowing it down now are the Irish. Caleb Tutti does and adds his 2 cents to the attack. Another pick up and go. Just trusting in the forwards now to get them closer is this island side.
Stay inside.
Big duty now for the Irish to try and get through this, but commendable defense coming in from the Georgians.
No hands.
Not
No hands.
letting loose.
Advantage.
No hands, says the ARF.
Back form
An
first.
advantage being played in such a dangerous area, Dan.
Yeah, I think Sabo Gurgodze just getting a little bit too eager, the first try scorer on the day, and not listening to referee. There was good communication to the Georgians, and important that the Irish are patient here. You see the tap and go being chosen, not a bad option at all, and patience, the name of the game when you're this far out.
Once again, very close to the line of the Irish. Just going in a bit high now is the big Scanlon. Coffee. Oh, strong take from the Irish, but met in a great tackle. McCormick adding his 2 cents. Irish is trusting in the force to get through. Very close now to the line of the Irish. Inches away from glory. Changing sides, finds Nolan. Long pass to Kelly. Makes it look easy. Kelly rewarded for such great efforts in this first half.
Yeah, that's going to be his bread and butter, junior. Luke Kelly keeping nice and wide, and just really good attack in the red zone from the Irish. Cutting it on the angle, the big man, and at the last moment, Nolan calling it beautifully. Kelly just in an absolute acre of space. Not much the Georgians could do there. Setting up really, really nice try of the Irish, keeping the Georgians narrow, and then opening that space up out wide. Really, really good attack, and that's exactly what type of rugby that the Irish want to play. Really structured, very system-based, making good decisions at the right time, and making good decisions in the red zone. Them ever closer to the Georgians, and an opportunity to equalize for the captain, Coffey. That's a great strike. That's going to be the extras added, and so 19 apiece. Last couple of minutes in this half, and I don't think a fairer scoreline could reflect the game thus far. The Georgians have had phenomenal moments of strength, but then this, just moments of flair The Irish just playing to their system,
No,
and Luke
let's
Kelly doing what a winger does best,
Let's go.
crashing over in the corner.
The Irish have done absolutely well, just hitting that same side for about 2-3 phases before switching up and catching the Georgians asleep there on the right-hand side. And just before the half, they've equaled the score, but can we see the Georgians put up another score before we go into the half? And Coffey's going to say enough is enough for one half. It's time to go back and refresh our minds. A great half. 19-all between the Georgians and the Irish here at Stellenberg. We've got a game on our hands, 3 tries apiece, and we can't wait to see what the second half has in store for us.
We have a little look at some of the tries that have been throughout this game. It's been good rugby from both sides as Georgians crashing over initially. Strong body position of Sapa Gokadze, darting it down on the line. Finding a little bit of that early momentum score-wise for the Georgians, capitalising on really good territory and possession, and then this just some really clever rugby from the Irish. Thief in the knife, taking it as Reese Keogh goes over for his first of 2. Good finish from the left winger, and Georgians caught sleeping a little bit, it must be said. Georgians getting one of their own, stealing one back. It's a beautiful bit of game awareness from Alexander Gamrelidze. Last for the second try, and then this just counter-attacking brilliance. Nolan taking the ball to the line. Said it at the time, Richie Mwanga-esque, and then the danger man Keogh, give him a little bit of space and 1 or 2 men to beat, and no doubt he's going to finish it off. Great interplay between front rows for this finish, and beautiful, beautiful rugby from replacement Tate Georgie Benedinishvili, and then finally last try to finish things off is bread and butter Luke Kelly. Beautiful game of rugby, 19 points apiece. We're back in a moment.
And we're back with a second half waiting for us. Should be exciting. We all tied up in the scores in the first half. Great game. Very entertaining rugby that we've seen between Georgia and the Irish. And it was the Georgians who really started off strong with the Irish backing up. And every time the Georgians do something, the Irish have a reply for them. So it's been even Stevens so far in the performance and not just on the scoreboard. What can we watch for, or should I say, what could we wait for from this Irish side and the Georgians in the second half?
Yeah, some beautiful rugby here at the Under-18 International Series. Back and forth, as you mentioned, Junior. And both sides throwing their punches, pulling their punches on occasion, and getting things even and Stevens through it. Interesting to see what Irish head coach Brendan O'Connor would have said to the boys at halftime. I think between the two sides, Irish maybe going to be a little bit more disappointed with the way that they played. The Georgians maybe a bit disappointed with their conversion, having controlled large parts of the territory and possession. And so interesting to see how these sides get out the gates in the second half.
Big kickoff from the fly half, Makaradze, who finds Coffee. Beautiful step coming in from McCormack. Didn't know that he had that in him. Coffee once again does well to find the big Ryan McFarlane O'Shea. Pick up and go from the Irish, trying to spin out the tackle is Scanlon, eventually brought down. Ordering his forwards to come around the corner is Coffee. Does well to find them. Sitting it up, just gaining those few meters before they go for the exit. Fixing for the box kick is the captain. Boots it up. Does well, and seems like it's Luca who's going to be underneath it. Big contest from the Irish, but Luca's done well. Tries to spin out there, but eventually held down. Trying to find his way around is the big Nicolosi. Georgie once again finds the big try scorer. He's done well so far, Georgie. Needs to dig deep, a bit of a tussle on the ground. It seems as though it's Ryan McFarlane who's all over him, but ball still in position of the Georgians. Beautiful carry from the pod, getting those meters. Another strong carry from the Georgians, Nicolosi Pansulia. Does well to find Mate. Trying to dance his way throughout, finds Luca eventually. He's been brought back. They're losing meters at the moment now. Mate once again does well to find the big Georgie.
Playing backwards, sternum tackle.
Looks like the ref wasn't happy about something there, Dan.
19.
Yeah, coming back for a high tackle on this Georgian outfit, but really good start from the Georgians, getting the ball through their hands really nicely and coming away with an opportunity to kick into the corner. I think the Irish very, very eager. We spoke about intent in the first half, Junior, and I think the Irish really have come out with a good showing of intent, both in that initial attack. Really a great step from Ryan McCormack. Looked more like a South African winger than an Irish centre.
Let's play,
and,
let's play.
Really good on defence from the young men so far.
Yes, let's play, it's outside play.
Important that the Georgians hold off this spell, douse this fire, and come away with first point of the second half.
Alexandra Kamgrelidze with the heavy duty to find his jumpers. A bit messy, but eventually being held by Nicolosi Karabava. Does well. Gets Luca Babakadze. Getting those meters that they want so desperately are the Georgians. Another strong carry from Mikhail. Numbers on the outside for the Georgians. Mate does well. Oh, couldn't hold on to it.
Backwards.
Seems as though he saved it. Knockback is the call from the official. Spins out of that tackle. Alexandra Kamgrelidze. Is he in? Held up is the call.
Well, it was a little bit of everything all over the place from the Georgians, moving the ball very well through their hands. I thought Mate Makaradze might have knocked that one on, but or would have knocked it on, but did well to hold on to it before. Real effort from Botlome Kamashuridze to hold on to that, twist through it, and eventually the Georgians held up.
Straight into the hands of Alexandra. Does well to find his forwards. But it's Oshia who's there, holding the fort down for the Irish. Here comes the Georgia Benesvili. Bit of a fight on the ground. Ball is clear for the Irish. It's the Georgians who are on attack still. And every time they get grabbed to the ground, the Irish are there at the breakdown, trying their best to get that ball turned over. Luca just can't handle that ball. Goes onto the outside, straight into the hands of Kelly. Here come the Georgians, using their forwards once again to try break through this wall. Switching directions is the cheeky scrum half. Does well to find Luca. Bust through one tackle.
Your advantage.
A lot of strength for a smaller man is Luca.
23.
He might just be held up by the Irish. And they've done well, and it seems as though that's Michael Smith
Let go, careful.
who's held up. A bit of argy-bargy now between the two.
Stand.
Yeah, Luka Chakua very good with ball in hand, and tackle riding just a little bit high from the Irish, and away with the opportunity there. And Georgians are moving the ball well. I think passes maybe just a little bit high, a little bit low, so not finding the flow, the continuity that would create those half gaps that they can then go through. Looking to get the ball wide early, which is it's a good thing, and they when they have ball in hand, they're very dangerous. But again, Junior, it's just the continuity getting it there. It's a little bit staccato. And have another look at that tackle riding high. Spoke about it earlier. If you're a tall man, you got to get low. You got to dip at the hips. Riding around, throws of Luka Chakua. Again, similar to what we saw in the first half, the Georgians, a lot of pressure. They're putting a lot of pressure. They're holding a lot of the territory against the Irish. And Irish, good showing of intent early on, working really well at the breakdown and just discipline letting them down a little bit, going off their feet, a little bit too eager here and there. Importantly, Sabo Gurgodze is back on the field, so it's 15 aside. We saw the last bit of this last half. The Georgians were a man down. It didn't feel like it was a time though, Junior. They were playing really good looking rugby. But with the extra man, imagine that the scales would tilt slightly in their favour.
Green, green, green. Up.
Nice position being set there by Mate Makaridze. And now it's Alexandra Gamkrelidze who's got the heavy duty and does well to find his forwards. Here comes the maul from the Georgians. Doing quite well. It's really found its engine at the moment. Georgia getting quite close. Georgia over the white line. Brilliant try by the Georgians. And it seems as though it's a second try for Alexandra Gamkrelidze.
Yeah, beautiful set piece try from the Georgians. Absolutely textbook. Great take at the line out. They were so good at the set piece in the first half. And Alexander Gamkrelidze with his second of the day. Another look at it. Long ball to the back. Good throw. Good showing of their technical skill. Well controlled. Setting a nice long ball and absolutely nothing the Irish could do there. Starts off with a good throw. Great set. And then Gamkrelidze scoring in beautiful technical fashion. Very different to his first try, which there I'd say was slightly optimistic or opportunistic. And very well worked ball. And it put a smile on the face of the Georgian coaches. Deservedly pulling ahead early on in the second half.
Does well to get the extra 2 points for the Georgians. And it seems as though it has been a great start to the second half for Georgia. Nolan to get us underway once again. Straight into the hands of the big number 5 for the Georgians, Nicolosi Karabeva. Georgie does well. Scrum half has to dig deep now. Is Georgie Kononitsk fixing for the box kick, boots it high. We've got Kelly underneath. Collects it well and finds Murphy. Dances his way through the defense. Here comes Nolan. Does well to find McCormack. In fact, that is Reese Keel. Coffee once again gets Nolan. Busting through the tackles now, the Irish. Quick ball, some good tempo coming in now from the men in green. Nolan once again does well to find Murphy. Not the best of passes, but it's been collected. Should be a forward now.
Touch, went forward.
Just as they were trying to get that momentum going for them, getting that tempo up, a different tempo now from the boys, really getting fast pace. Just couldn't finish what they started. Is that a coach killer?
Yeah, definitely a coach killer, Junior. I think it's one of those things where they're finding some good momentum. They're keeping the ball through the phases. They're looking really good. I love it when the pack runs off the 10 there. David Nolan just changing the point of impact, creating some really nice momentum. And Nolan looking to get the ball wide. See, just pass coming a little bit too late. He needed to release that earlier, did Daniel Murphy. And numbers were down there, bit of a mismatch backs on forwards, and so opportunity was there. And I think that's been the story of this Irish side. Opportunity, and they just need to wax things a little bit more cleanly, get it right, and they'd be able to
Let's wait for stability.
Convert a little bit more of that pressure into points. But nevertheless, good from the Georgians to get up in their faces, get in the way of that Irish phase play, and ultimately affect the turnover.
Set.
Feed in by the Georgians, a big scrum from Georgia.
Moving across. Scrum moving across.
Moving across is the call.
Same ball. Left of the mark, please. Yep. Crouch. Fine.
I think if we have another stop to the scrum, we might just see a penalty. Taken up by the Georgians once again. Playing it out the back, does well to to find Luca. Steps inside. Just couldn't find the hands of his 14, Alexandra Mayimashvili. Collected by Coffee. Here come the Irish on attack. Does well to beat one defender is Philip Lynch. Coffee gets Nolan, plays it out. New man on the park now in the 17 jumper, Herbie Boyle. Here comes Michael Smith, chip and chase from Michael Smith. Collects it beautifully. Brilliant effort from the Irish.
That is some beautiful, beautiful attacking rugby from Michael Smith, the man from Terranure College in Dublin. Seems to be playing on the wing today. He can play equally at open side flank, and a beautiful bit of awareness to hold his width, attack the line at the right moment, and a nice little chip and chase. And have another look at it here. The captain Coffee. Beautiful pass. Smith running at pace, dropping it onto the toe. That's one for the highlight reel, Junior. And like we said a moment ago, it almost just feels like
20.
if either of these sides can get the last pass waxed, you're going to see a lot of tries in the second half. Coffee unable to add the extras. Not a bad strike, but it's going to stay 24 apiece, and this really is as back and forth a game of rugby as you can have. It's just so important that both of these sides keep ball in hand. They're so dangerous when they're on the attack. There's so much space on the paddock at Hoërskool Stellenberg, and I really do feel like whoever can hold onto the ball a little bit better, keep their attention, keep calm heads, is the team that's going to come away in what is a really, really tightly contested game here in the Western Cape.
Restart by the fly half. Mate puts it a bit too deep, and it seems as though it's going to go all the way out. Not the best of restarts for Georgia.
Luka Chakua a little bit long, and we're going to see Johnny Woods. He's going to come on for the captain, Luke Coffey.
Line is the mark.
To see the young man getting an opportunity. Wesley College, one of the great rugby schools in Ireland, Wesley College.
Left of the mark, please. Line is the mark. Line is the mark.
To see what impact he's going to have on the game. Luke Coffey, such an integral part of this Irish side, keeps a good tempo, kicks for poles, captains the boys. And big shoes to fill for young man Johnny Woods.
Just take a step, bit. Okay. Yep. That's fine. Let's go again. Quick set up. Take a step. Get closer. Get closer. Thank you. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Not the best of feeds, not the best of scrums for the Irish. Knee on the ground, says the official, and you see what that means now for the Georgians, because it's a time for them to come alive and start attacking. They know they are very much in this game. It's 24 tries, 24, sorry. And that now tells the tale of how this game has been. That tells the tale that it is anyone's game down here at Hoërskool Stellenberg.
Yeah, you can see the pressure coming in from the new man, Saba Merabashvili. Come into the loose head prop position on the left-hand side of that scrum, and immediately affecting a little bit of pressure on his opposite number, Alex Stinson. And down, you can see on his knees. Not a bad call at all from referee Makabe, and it's a great kick that's come through Luka Chakua. You could hear the Georgians in the background screaming their approval, and they're just a couple of meters out from what would be a very important score in the second half.
Does well to find his jump on Cam Krolitsa once again. Finds Nicolosi.
Now 8.
Seems as though he's broken on the outside, and a try once again for the Georgians. If there's one thing they can do well is get those set pieces correct. And each time they've visited the 5 with the set piece, they've walked away with points.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Junior. It's absolute set piece precision from the Georgians. And just reward for the loose head prop replacement, Saba Merabashvili. See back ball all the way to the back. It was another good throw from Gabriel Kalidze. Setting that more in that back channel. Very, very difficult to defend against if you don't sack it. And isn't that poetic? The man who affected the penalty on the Irish feed a couple of moments ago, coming away with the try. As I said, in the context of this game, so important that 7 points are added. And this Georgian side, it just feels like they've been so clinical in the red zone in the second half. Something which I think they struggled with a little bit in the first. And warning bells for the Irish as these Georgians look so hot in their own 22.
Kickoff by the Irish.
Good contest.
Being contested well. Alex Maloney's done well, but ball's being collected by the Irish. Oh, big strong run coming in from one of the try scorers, Georgie.
Find it over.
Luca once again. Here come the Georgians. He's 3v1 at the moment. Takes it up. Chicken wing pass. Does well to find Bartolome Kamashuridze. Spinning out the tackle now is Luca. I've seen a lot of him, Luca, in that first half. Showing us that his engine is not dead quite yet. Big tackle fight coming in from the Georgians at the moment. Can see the momentum has really shifted to their side. But the Irish are not going to let loose that easily. Mate does well. Backing himself now as Alexandra does well with the offload. Keeping that ball alive for David. Big call on the ground now. Looks like we might just see a card, and there it is. There it is. You're in the way, says the official.
And you got to feel for Johnny Woods. He's just come on and he's going to go right back off into the cooler. And in such an integral position. Never good to lose any player, but particularly one of the halfbacks. It becomes very, very difficult to generate tempo. But how good was that Georgian counter-attack from deep within their own 22? It started with the tight head replacement, Georgie Birdzinishvili. I've been very, very impressed with the young man. Bouncing off a couple of defenders, and then the direction from the fly half. Mate Makaradze getting it into the hands of the danger men outside. Ultimately working into the 22, where here you can see young Johnny Woods trying to play with a little bit of gamesmanship, slow that Georgian attack down. A very good-looking Georgian attack, and doing so cynically. Junior, I think the 3 points not a bad option at all in what has been a real back-and-forth battle here.
Not a bad option at all, just to get that scoreboard pressure going. And it's going to be a much tougher job now for Ireland to try and get back and level the scores now, because if they go and put points on the board, and with the conversion, they still haven't caught up to the Georgians, and that's exactly what the Georgians want.
Hold on, stop.
A 9-point game, an extra man, and it all of a sudden looks as if this is Georgia's to win. Apologies, Georgia's to lose, and Ireland's to have to come back and win. Again, another change coming in for the Irish. Paddy Scally's come on at the outside half position, and he's going to have to do it on his own as his halfbacks sitting in the off-cool stool.
It's Alexandre who's done well to collect that for Georgia. Using their forwards just to try break through. Luca Schleier. It's the young prop now controlling the ball for the scrum half. Giorgio Gonzalez does well. Puts it up under pressure now, collected beautifully from the Irish.
You have to run across. 12.
Have to run across, so
12 obstruction.
Obstruction is the call from the official. A tricky call, that is.
Yeah, difficult call, a technical one coming in from the referee, and the Irish are maybe going to feel a little bit hard done by there. And one of those things that's, as the changes come to the game of rugby, so too the policing of it, and where the rules have changed over the last couple of years with blocking defenders and changing your line and so on and so forth. Often he's getting caught on a technicality. Interesting to see. He's come onto the field as young Dara Walsh in the number 19 jersey. The only man from Connacht in this Irish squad, hoping to represent his province well. And
out now,
good set from the Georgians at the
number
line
7 out.
Good ball from the Georgians. Doing well to find its engine.
No,
Need to stay a bit patient with that. Taking that ball out, playing it out the back. A lot of pressure pushing up in defense are the Irish. forwards coming around that corner. Saber, one of the try scorers, Mereshpashvili.
Advantage, number 12.
Oh, bit of a knock on.
Time off. Time off.
And you can see another penalty coming
Kept it.
the way of the Georgians. Just more cynicism at the breakdown from the Irish and trying to defend this fast-flowing Georgian defence, falling all over the ruck. And it was fly half Mata Makaradze who got caught in the boot, the area behind the pod. And down and just bodies all over the place. The Irish stopping that flow. And as much as it's an indictment on the Irish defence, it's also an indication of how good this Georgian attack has been, phase after phase, moment after moment, and an opportunity to extend this lead even further. It's right in front of the post. He's kicked so well all day, has Luka Chakua, and he's really going to feel like this should be in the back pocket. A good strike from the fullback. This one's going to be pushed wide, and so the score unfortunately not going to change. And see putting his hand up there, maybe a little bit of the commentator's curse, my apologies. And not a bad kick, just not on the right option. You can see the frustration. He knows how important it was to extend that lead, especially with a man up of the Georgians.
Paddy Scully with the restart, 22 dropout collected again from the Irish. Maloney, you've been quite good for the Ireland side this game. Ireland not afraid to play it from deep. Ireland with numbers on the bank. Soft hands by Ireland into the hands of Smith, the try scorer. Tries to bump one off, but a foot in touch, unfortunately. He's going to be a bit disappointed with himself.
Yeah, a little bit of disappointment from Michael Smith. He's a danger man out wide, but you can see how the Irish are trying to hold on to the ball. They know how important it is that they get a hold of the pull at this point in the game. They need to have possession of it. They need to give themselves an opportunity to get into the right areas of the half, and very, very important that they manage their game well. See, just right on the touch. Smith will step in, but a really good tackle coming in from Alexander Mamashvili. So important to use the 16th man in the touchline and winning back possession through the line out.
It's available.
The Georgians now, who will try and make sure that they keep possession, or just as I said, that they've lost that ball. Commentators curse once again.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too eager. Small mistakes creeping in, and very important that the Georgians, as you mentioned, keep possession, but also play in the right areas of the field. I think at this stage in the game, territory really is the name of the game for this Georgian attack. See a change coming in as Saba Jibgashvili comes on at hooker in the front row. He takes the place of Alexander Kamkulidze, who had a really good game. Did the hooker, scored 2 tries. Beautifully in at the line out. Technically very good. I've been very, very impressed with the young man, and big role for his replacement, Jibgashvili. But the Irish with an opportunity. Midfield scrum, defensive split, absolute pearl of an attacking opportunity, and no doubt that Paddy Scully's going to be eyeing up his outside backs in this opportunity.
A lot of pressure being applied now by the Georgians, making sure that the Irish have no room to breathe. Irish playing it on the blind side. Got some fresh legs on the park who really want to make their positions known. Back inside, the Irish play. It's the captain who's back on the field now. Beautiful chip now by Paddy Scully. Doesn't find his man. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Maloney down the line. Maloney with a try that will be remembered for days to come.
Beautiful bit of attacking rugby from the Irish. Paddy Scully dropping it onto the boot, finding Maloney on the outside. One man to beat, so strong with ball in hand, and that is precisely what the Irish would have wanted. Condensing that Georgian defence. Paddy Scully identifying the space with pinpoint accuracy, executing the kick. As I said, Maloney so dangerous with ball in hand. One man to beat. The pace to get it there. And Irish really pulling all the strings, showing how good they can be when they get it right. And as has been the flavour of the day, Irish pulling
20.
themselves back right into contention.
And hit the woodwork. Ireland sitting with 29 and Georgia with 36 with 11 minutes left in the second game of day 3.
Alex Maloney, the try scorer in picture. A little bit of a back and forth about who was going to take that shot at goal. I think eventually it was Alex Maloney who had an effort and didn't get it quite right. Really a tight game, a couple of points in it, and Irish have unloaded their defence. A couple of guys who've been impressive over this under-18 international series. Harry Hegney, Dara Walsh and Paddy Scully immediately making a difference, and to see how they close the game out.
Beautiful restart from Makaradze, the fly half. The Irish not afraid to play it from down deep. Joshua Grant with the first carry after that restart. It's James Whitty who's back on the field.
Outside.
Someone who's had a brilliant under-18 international series down here in the Western Cape. Woods boots it up. It's Coffee, in fact. Here come the Irish. Beautiful collection from the Irish. Does well to find the big Dara Walsh. About 3 men on top of him.
French.
Coffee all under pressure. Playing the 9, says the official. Another penalty now for the Irish. Tried to take it quick, tries to dance around his Paddy Scully, but eventually stopped in his tracks. I think the next call now for the Irish would be going for that line out and getting that set piece right.
Yeah, they have to. Opportunistic as from the Irish. Smith dancing on it. Good appreciation of the laws, knowing that his opposite number had touched the ball and so he wasn't offside. And really, really good rugby. Cries from the Georgians for a forward pass, but referee McLeber right there and falling all over it. Sometimes you do have to think, boys, let's just play the game. Referee will make the calls as he does, and now really a phenomenal attacking opportunity for the Irish.
Herbie Boyle does well to find his jumpers. Big defense coming in from Georgia at the moment.
Moving backwards.
Desperate on attack. Oh, the Irish. It's found its wheels eventually at the small. Spinning around, eventually peeling off the left-hand side of the Irish. Is he over?
Clear release.
No, it's going to be a penalty to the Georgians. Just a little bit too eager with the Irish. Tackle completed, no clear release of the ball. Second bite at the cherry, and that, per definition, is a coach killer. All rumbling forward, really looking good, and ultimately, well defended by the Georgians. Little banana kick from Mate Makaradze, finds good distance and providing a little bit of space around the collar for these Georgians to breathe.
3. Stop. Number 19 white. 19. 19-1-9. Up. Who are you coming for? Who's out? Is it out? Time is off. Who is out? Is he out? Okay.
A little bit of back and forth about who's going to be off the park, making sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. Get things going.
Brilliant throw from Saber Jimkashvili.
7 out. 7.
Peeling off and finding the back line. Here come the Georgians. He might just break through. Beautiful break from the Georgians. He's got a man on the outside. It's a foot race. It's a foot race. Ireland on the chase at the moment. He's got to back himself. Eventually brought down. Brilliant defense from the Irish. Taking it up around is Lucas Shulaya. Does well to add his 2 cents to the attack. Pick up and go now from the Georgians. Close to the line, but the ref is going to blow up. Held up is the score. Held up is the call, sorry, from the official. Talk about that play now from the Georgians, just backing himself. A big break coming in from David all the way to find Alexandra. Just didn't have the pace.
No, just didn't have the wheels that Alexander Mamashvili, but Beautiful identification of space from the Georgians. Beautiful line break initially being made by Baton Kamasharudze. Picking his line beautifully. My apologies, that's Galopjishvili finding the supporting run. It was a great line from Amashvili, but unfortunately just didn't quite have the pace. A beautiful bit of effort from Matthew McCarthy, a match saver, no doubt about it. And now the Georgians, they're going to have to get themselves back in the driver's seat.
Steps his way through is the young flower half, the magician himself, Mate Makaridze, who's done well for the Georgians.
Tackle!
Gioridze does well, but it seems though he's been running into a brick wall. Soft hands once again from the Georgians. Doing well to spin out of that tackle. Luka once again. Playing that same side now, the Georgians. Soft hands back into the inside, but has been spelt and collected by the Irish. He tried to dance his way through, Murphy.
No advantage. Knock on.
Eventually going back for the advantage as was being played. And a knock-on is the call from the official.
Yeah, eventually just coming back for the knock-on. Not bad at all for this Georgian side. They're not going to mind this. They need to slow things down. They're happy to let it come into a set-piece battle. They're happy to let the clock tick away. They have that marginal lead. You can see in the backfield a couple of players getting attention, trying to just execute a little bit of gamesmanship here. And really important that they stay on this side of the field. The key for the Irish is not to get white line fever, dare I say it, chase that try and
Mind your business, please. Stay on your
try and
side.
secure it from deep. They need to play clever rugby. They need to make sure that they're playing in the right areas of the field. And make sure that they're retaining his possession as best as they can.
Substitution for Georgia coming on.
You're in a yellow card.
Number 20, Nicolotti.
Be careful. Just be careful. Go.
Very stern call
Jump on again.
from the official there. Just warning the Ireland players not to raise their voice at him as he controls the whistle, he controls the game. And I think it's safe to say this game is as good as over at the moment.
Yeah, listen, a couple of minutes left, and can never say never as
Fine.
the score's been updated there. 36 points to 29 in favour of the Georgians, but never ever say never as the Irish, a couple more bites at the cherry.
Oh, talk about belief in what you're doing. And that's certainly something that's really going to be a coach killer for the Ireland side. And the big boost of confidence now for the Georgians. Another chance to get the scoreline going and a chance to go for the posts, says Makaradze.
Phenomenal effort from the front row. You can see that on the opposite put-in. So much pressure. Jibgashvili, Romerabashvili, and Berdzanishvili. Replacement front row really worth their weight in gold. Penalty right in front of the sticks, and twisting the knife are the Georgians. You can sense the frustration from the Irish. Dare I say, it's just been such good control of the game, and in the moments where they've required to play some phenomenal front up rugby, the Georgians have done just that and
20.
getting the reward for it. That's a great strike. This time the extras are added. 39 points to 29. A yellow card, a man in the bin for the Irish, and it's all looking Georgian as we edge into the last couple of minutes of this Under-18 International Series game. Both these sides played so well over the weekend. This win could mean a great deal to this young Georgian side.
Big restart from the Irish. Trying to step his way through is Luka, but eventually brought down. Colossal effort now from the forwards.
Use now.
Alexandra Gagua at scrum half. He's going to boot it up. Beautiful box kick. And it seems as though it's Kelly who's home for the Irish. Kelly not afraid to back himself. In fact, to my correction, that looks like Finn Brennan. Finn Brennan who's on the field now in place of Kelly. Ball has been turned over, but a penalty once again for the Irish. Just a few minutes to go. Not enough time for all this argy-bargy. And it's frustrating times now for both of these sides.
Time off.
Kevinishvili needing to be very, very careful, yeah.
Who's the captain? Who's the captain?
A little bit of confusion about the captain
You
on the
understand
Georgian
English?
side.
Okay. So after the penalty, we don't want any pushing and shoving. It happened between both teams. Send a message across to your team. If there's a penalty, they must just get away from the ball and drop the ball too. Okay, send a message.
Good, clear communication from referee McLeber, making sure that his recipient understands the language before providing the instruction.
Do you understand English? Oh, come on, I thought you was multilingual, McLeber. Come on.
I thought he was all those Georgian lessons on Duolingo over the last couple of weeks.
At this point, he should be able to construct a sentence in that language. And here come the Irish once again. Last chance to try put points on the board. Beautiful take. Beautiful maul going from the Irish. Georgians, though, are fighting back quite strong.
Moving backwards.
It's moving backwards. They need to play at the Irish, and they've done just that. Playing it out the back, using those forwards. Seems like a bit of a mess there, but ball has been turned over. And if the Georgians are going to turn over this ball at this time of the game, it's safe to say the game is over now. Again, another penalty for the Irish, but what can they do from this? A second penalty in the zone, but they've not walked away with any points here, Dan.
Yeah, that one just carried in, maul called. Initially a very good turnover coming from Nikolati Jangulashvili, but carried into it, and good appreciation of the laws from the Irish. And this has just been the story of the Irish throughout the day, Junior. So many false starts, looking so good, getting into the right areas of the field, getting a hold of possession, and then just not able to convert. And you know, in other occasions, looking a little bit on the back foot and then having a moment of brilliance to get themselves over. And I think just consistency, the key that just needed to be turned today for the Irish. On the other side of things, these Georgians have played absolutely phenomenally, out of their skins. Serving winners today at Hoërskool Stellenberg.
Johnny Woods does well to find his backs back into the hands of Woods. Oh, beautiful pass. Irish still moving. Looking to end the strong but ball straight into the try line. Goal line dropout is the call.
Goal line.
Sense the frustration from the Irish side. Dare I say it, marginal favourites having come into this game.
Medic.
No doubt Ireland, a much bigger rugby nation than their Georgian counterparts. And this young Georgian side, their junior structures having proven it time and time again. How Georgia is becoming a force in world rugby, having beaten the junior All Blacks early on in the year, now the junior Irish, and shows that come the next World Cup cycle, the Georgians, not an easy kettle of fish to handle.
Boots it straight into the hands of Brennan. Brennan does well to find O'Shea. Big, strong carrier is Ryan O'Shea. Woods does well to find Paddy. Ball going out to that winger.
No separation.
No separation is the call from the official. Very desperate now in attack are the Irish. Question is, will they be able to finish this? But once again, not being able to hold onto the ball, stepping his way through, dancing his way through is the big Luka Mushkaldiani. Can almost just sense how the energy of the Irish just diminished after that knock, because that was the last chance they had to get this win, and the siren goes. Knock on is the call from the official, and that should be the game. And it is Georgia under 18 who've won 39 points to 29 here at Hoërskool Stellenberg. And you can see what it means to the Georgians to walk away with the win against a giant of a nation, which is Ireland.
Absolutely phenomenal rugby from the Georgians. They fronted up physically where they needed to, set piece with absolute dominance, and you can see their elation on their faces. This is an absolutely phenomenal victory. It's a watershed moment for the Georgian youth structures. Again, another look at some of these tries, just technically so good, and that's really what I've been so impressed by today, Junior, is just the soft skills of these Georgian players. Often in the past, physically they're happy to do the technical stuff, but when it comes to the deft elements of the rugby game, falling short in some areas, and today absolutely everything has been pinpoint. They've controlled the game so well, really played good rugby, and well-deserving winners against a very strong Ireland under 18 side. A little bit of frustration maybe from the Irish, lots of learnings, lots of lessons, lots to grow towards. This team next probably going to be shown in under 20 World Championships in a couple of years' time. They've shown us they can play good rugby, and it's just about putting together those chapters into a full novel for the Irish under 18. But it's Georgia's day today. 39 points to 29 at Hoërskool Stellenberg. Absolutely phenomenal for the Georgians.
And we do not go away. We've got South Africa under 18 taking on England under 18 in the final game of the day and the final game of the under 18 international series here at Hoërskool Stellenberg. We will be back quite shortly with a humdinger of a game.